As you'll notice, we're just going to go ahead and click on login. And now we're on the ONES homepage. So let's kind of explain this page here. Here we have ONES, there's a logo. You can make it your company logo if you want, which is really great because it's important to build that culture within the company. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections. We're going to start with the My Work section. This is your navigation bar. So all the different projects you're working on, you'll find over here. So this is kind of like your home base. Now, what I have set up here is I customized my work dashboard so that I can see the most important things when I start my day with ONES. I have announcement boards where I can add images. I can change the font if I want to. If I click edit, you can see here there's a bunch of different various things that we can add, such as changing the font background color. So maybe I want this to be a light blue that represents the brand. And then you don't even have to save it. Just click cancel and it's that easy. Then I have all the work that I'm responsible for. So I have many assignments that I need to get started on pretty soon. You can also make this full screen if you want to see it in a better view. I kind of like to keep it in this window. So not only can I see my assignments, any announcements that's going on, I can also see the recent places I've been, such as my ONES wiki, which we'll dive into soon, and even an organizational chart you can build into ONES. And then more importantly, I have all of my recent projects right here. So let's check out one of these projects. Let's go into waterfall management. Looking at this, we can see an overview just like in the My Work view. I can see that I have 13 to-dos in my waterfall project. Nothing is in progress and nothing has been done either. So why don't we get started on that? What I'm going to do here is go into my requirements so that I can get a better idea of what's going on. I can see here that I have a bunch of different requirements. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can change the priority to high. I can change it to highest. I can change it to low or even lowest. And then straight from within here, I can actually update it by clicking start. And now I know the project has been implemented. So let's just go ahead and update all of these so that you can get a better idea and go back to the overview page. We can now see that some of my to-dos have gone into progress. And I can actually go from here and click on done if I wanted to. Going back into the overview, I can now see these are done. So this is all happening in real time. And you can also add different people to projects, assign the due date, see who created it and when they created it. And if this isn't good enough for you, you can also adjust the way it looks. So we can see that now we have the statuses based in groups in a Kanban view, or as we call it, a board view. We can go back and maybe we want a wider detail view. So if I click on this, I can now see who's the assignee, who the current status is, what the priority is, and if it's in a sprint. Sprints are super important. So maybe let's click into this and we can see that we have no sprints available yet. But we can actually go into different projects and actually add sprints. So let's go into the waterfall management. Let's go into the agile management project. And again, we can see that we have a dashboard that showcases things, but here we have sprints. So if I click into sprint 1, I can see that there's all these different things that need to be started. So if I see build website, what I can do is create a linked issue and I can title it test website before we launch it. I can click task. Now I can see that it's giving me more information as who I want to assign it to, what the description will be, and when the due date is. I can also link existing issues as well. Now, let's just go ahead and say this is going to take 2 hours, and let's just click OK. We can see that now it exists as something not started, but I can drag it to in progress and eventually drag it to done. And I'll get notifications up here as well as my projects move through the swim lane. Now, it's very important to be able to customize your work, and ONES is really good at that. So if I click into settings, we can see that we have an overview component, requirements that we just went over, backlog, bugs, sprints, tasks, and so on. There's quite a lot, but maybe we want to clean this up. Maybe we just want overview and requirement. Here they are. So let's get rid of all this other stuff for now. And we can see what's happening on the top bar is that these are starting to disappear. So now you can customize these views to look exactly as you want it and what's important for your team. Now, you may be wondering, okay, this sounds great, but we have a lot of information going on within our company that we need to keep track of. So let's pretend that we are creating a new project. So we go to one's project, I click on create project, and let's call this an agile project management type. And let's call it Summer Olympics app. So let's say you're part of a company that's building a Summer Olympics app. We're going to go ahead and click on next. And now we can add team members. So I'll add my buddy Alex. He's my manager and my colleague. And I'm going to click on complete, click OK. And now I have a brand new project that started. I can add requirements such as launch website. I can set the priority. I can add it to a sprint if I want to. So for now, let's just add one more. We're going to say market website. We're going to click OK. Great. So now we have two requirements. We can add tasks as well. So maybe one of the tasks is test for bugs. Click OK. And we're going to add another task that maybe it's build a knowledge base. Ooh, let's just say build a info wiki for the Summer Olympics website and app. Click OK. Great. Now we're getting started. Let's add a sprint as well. We're going to call it sprint 1. And we're going to say that it ends in a couple weeks. Awesome. Now let's go back to these tasks and let's go ahead and link them to our sprints. Awesome. Now we're getting started. We're actually starting to make some headway now. So moving along, let's say in this task, we need to create an info wiki. We need a page where we can collect all of our thoughts with our team. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on link wiki page and we're going to create a brand new collaborative work page. We're going to call it Summer Olympics app. We're going to select the space. It's going to go on our wiki. And let's put it in, let's see. Let's just put it in the ones wiki, complete and edit. And now we're in our second product, ones wiki. We can add things such as, let's see, if I click this button, I can add a heading and I can say this is the heading. I can add a to-do list. So task 1, task 2, task 3. I could even add, let's see, what else? I can add a link. Maybe we want to link to YouTube. So we'll type in YouTube and then we'll go to youtube.com, click OK. And look at that. Seamlessly brings us straight to wherever we want to go on the internet. So now that you have a better idea of how that's working, let's just go ahead and release this so it's ready. And now we can see that people can comment on it. So I can tag Alex and I can say, what do you think? Click send. And now Alex will get a notification and he can reply to this. Now, this is just the bare bones of what you can do with Wiki. You can create this huge knowledge base for things like strategic planning or project documentations for a project charter. Maybe you want to build a roadmap for your next product. Maybe sprint planning. You want to plan out your sprints in a collaborative way with your team in real time and have an opportunity for comments. There's so much that you can do. And more importantly, you can make it look beautiful. So you can add right here images, highlight text. You can add a link. There's so much that you can do. Now we're almost done. There's one more product I'd love to show you. Let's go back and maybe we now need to test things, right? So if we go back to our projects and we have the Summer Olympics app and we go to our tasks, we can see here that we still need to test for bugs. So let's go to ONES TestCase and let's go ahead and check out this product. So when you're testing the quality assurance of your sprints and iterations, you need to make sure there's no bugs and everything is going like A-okay. So what we'll want to check here is maybe instead of having to create a new test plan with different items, let's just create Summer Olympics test plan. And let's assign it to myself. This is starting to look kind of familiar. Let's call it functional testing. And let's link it to the Summer Olympics project. And let's link it to Sprint 1. Great. So now it's time to start testing things. So what we can do is we can add from our test case library what we typically do when we're testing new things. So login functionality, password reset, user profile update, and user registration. Let's add all of that. Awesome. Now we can actually see what's going on. We can see that Keith needs to test all these things, and we can see the results as well. So let's go through them. We'll start with login, check website, check, did that. Input username, check, that looks good. Save and next. Okay, 4 steps. Open the software application. That worked. Click the forgot password. That worked. Now let's say when we get to click submit, something happened. There was an error 404 and it's not working. So what we'll do is we'll note that. And now let's create a bug. So now we know error 404, submit, did not work. Okay, we're going to sprint 1. That makes sense. Found in production, bug type. Let's say function issue. Okay, let's add Alex so he's aware of this as well. Click OK. And now, if we go back to our ones project, we can now see that the bug now exists in the bug component. So if we go back to an overview, we can now see that we have 1 bug that's not closed. There's 2 unplanned requirements that haven't been started yet that we can now update. And on top of all of that, we now have our linked wiki page as well that brings us to all the knowledge and information we need to remember and understand. So now you have a better idea that ONES is the tool for all of your R&D processes, whether it comes to ONES projects for managing sprints, bugs, and iterations, or maybe it's about creating a collaborative platform where everyone can work together, or testing the quality of your platform itself. There's a lot you can do. There's 3 products. We're changing the game, and we're making a global impact with over 1,000 different organizations right now. And we would love for you to be a part of it too. So that's it for today. I'd love to open it up for some questions and get started. So I'd love to know, which part do you feel stuck out to you the most? And that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Hopefully this is helpful. And please let me know your feedback because this is a work in progress. All right. Thanks, guys. And I'll talk to you soon.